Hello everyone, welcome back to Green Tea with Ashish, a show where founders get to talk about their products. We focus just on products so that your client base can understand what your products are capable to do and how your product is differently placed in the market. Today we have Namya Foods with us. Namya is a small effort towards a healthy living from a Jammu and Kashmir based entrepreneur, Ridhima Arora. After working as a brand manager for about 5 years, she decided to quit her corporate job and start Namya. Namya Foods have a lot of products in the market. Some of them are hard tea, green tea, and Kashmiri tea. They have a lot of different ingredients which are very healthy and very suitable for our day to day life. They carefully craft foods on the basis of Ayurveda that can blend in your natural diets and can become a way of living rather than finding a new diet every time. It only proves to be unsustainable over a longer period of time but also leads to health struggles and frustration. Let's understand more about Namya Foods from the founder itself. So, Ridhima, welcome to the show and thank you so much for taking time out. And let's talk about Namya Foods more. So, I love the name which you have created the brand around. So, let's talk about Namya Foods. Where did your journey start, and how are you doing these days?
First of all, thank you so much for calling me Ashish. I still remember how this whole conversation started when I said that, we should probably do green tea with Ashish as Namya green tea with Ashish.
Yeah.
So I think from there to this is a great journey. Um, talking about Namya Foods, we started. It's not we are not very old, so it's almost been 1 year that we are into business now. But the whole idea of why we wanted to do Namya Foods came from the fact that there are no authentic brands in the market, who are actually doing foods that are good for you, right? I started my own health journey when I lost some 30 kgs, not in a very good way. But I think that's when I started getting sensitized to the kind of foods you should eat and the kind of foods you should not eat, and this whole segment of fat food industry, where you say that it's an oats biscuit, it's brown bread, and it's those quinoa chips that you get from the market. It's only with time that you realize that these are full of hydrogenated oils. There's a whole lot of vegetable oils that get into it, which further convert into trans fats, and it's bad for your body. But personally, it's only when my dad, went through a disease, is when we were running through the hospitals, and I saw a major gap in the health industry and the food industry, and they're parallel worlds. They don't want to meet with each other. And food being such an important component of the disease, and how it can be cured, is then when I realized all of that. They say that gut, every disease starts at the gut, and it's actually true for that matter. So that's when I sort of decided that I really have to go full time into this, and that's how Namir sort of got started.
Okay, so it's very difficult to build a brand from scratch, and there are a lot of challenges around the manufacturing itself in the FMCG sector. So, can you throw some light around that? That how what were the initial troubles you faced, or still there are some challenges around it. So, can you throw some light on that?
Sure. I think for someone like me who was into co-marketing, did like 5 years of work in smartphone industry, it was very difficult to get into FMCG space because this was my first time. I mean, imagine dealing in products that a consumer takes 7 days to decide what to buy, from something as simple as impulse buy, right? And considering the fact that the ASPs are so low, so the width of the distribution becomes very critical. And for a new brand like us to enter the market, that's a huge amount of cost, right?
Right.
So how do you balance the equation of still, letting the cash flows run in your business, and still be able to create that optimum level of, width of the distribution, was the biggest challenge for us as a brand, considering the ASPs are very low. And initially, because your whole focus is on manufacturing the product. So there's a whole lot of fixed costs that goes into getting the right kind of machinery. And very early on, we sort of decided that we wanted to do the manufacturing ourselves, because when you are into the business of some eatables, the ingredients that go into the food becomes very, very critical. And I think that's our core objective of why we even started off. So I think that was one of the challenges. The other big challenge is that, because FSSI right now does not have too many strict rules and regulations. So everyone wants to write good stuff in front of the pack, right? And people don't have the habit to, reverse the pack and see the ingredient side. So I think in that race where a lot of marketing money is anyway involved, I feel genuine brands like ours sort of miss out. So in that right balance of being able to communicate and sensitize people about health and the ingredients that you've put in the packet, and still being able to convince them to buy you becomes a problem. And it's a challenge. It's not a problem. It's a challenge, and I think we are trying to solve that.
Yeah. So getting to the where the company is headquartered. So you are headquartered in Jammu and Kashmir. So why did you choose that geography as such? Because uh, that's that's something which came in front of me as a surprise, because choosing Jammu and Kashmir, where the startup ecosystem is itself is growing, it's a huge step. Can you talk about like why did you choose Jammu and Kashmir as as your headquarters, or your geography from where you started?
Sure, I will. So one of the things that I did not sort of mention was the fact that we are into a family business of Ayurvedic herbs, based in Jammu and Kashmir, and this started in 1937, so it's been like more than 80 years. So, and when I had to sort of get into FMCG and start here, one of the important things that I had to do as a part of homework was understand Ayurveda from beginning. Although I took some formal education too, um, I did that so many years. So I wanted that to be right, because ultimately, if you are an ingredient-based system or a product, you have to be very right in terms of the kind of ingredients you are putting in the food. And so I took that time. In fact, our manufacturing facility is also in Jammu and Kashmir, and we do plan to keep it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And coming back to the brand, so I love the name Namya Food. So what does it mean? And what how did this name came up when you started?
So we did a lot of iterations before I actually finalized Namya Foods. But Namya Foods, it's more of a spiritual manifestation than anything else. The time when we were running through the hospitals, and I found out that gap, in the market, where dietitians also don't understand a lot about the importance of food in helping you heal through a particular disease, is the time when I started practicing nature in Buddhism. So Namhya actually comes from Namyo Ho Rengegyo, which is the mystic law of nature. So yeah, more of a spiritual reason than anything else.
Okay. And so thank you so much for sending the Kashmiri Kawa to me, and I love it. Like I literally have the cup right in front of me, having it,
Oh,
and
great.
I've been having it for like last 4 5 days, and I love the taste of it, and it's really different. So can you talk about the products you have in the market, and how differently they are placed?
Sure. So I think Ashish, because I come from the other side, where I was a consumer once wanting to eat healthy and going to the supermarket to buy stuff that's actually healthy for me. But the problem was that the options were very, very limited. I mean, this is back in 2014-15, when you'll see quinoa chips and oats biscuits and bran atta chips. But the problem is that once you actually understand the ingredients, once you look at the hidden hydrogenated oils used, hidden sugars, The fat free is not so much of fat free. When you realize all of that, I don't know if you've observed, you eat a chips of packet and when you touch your fingers, you'll see the stickiness. And that stickiness is going to go to your body and, ultimately hurt your gut. So when I realized all of that, the fundamental, the core proposition that time was that, we really have to do products that are actually true to their ingredients and true to what they actually mean. They're all natural, no preservatives. So we sort of started this whole idea where we said that, okay, you can't use Ayurveda in your daily life because you don't have so much of time in a chaotic routine. We will give you products that are still based in Ayurveda and can help you in your day-to-day life, right? So you
Right.
eat it as a substitute to one of the meals, some things in addition to your meals, and you still be able to, sustain that healthfulness, right? Coming back to the point, we right now have 6 SKUs in place. And all of them come from the factor of convenience, but still based in Ayurveda. Like we have this instant breakfast cereal, which is actually made of sattu, oats, and nuts, right? What we tell you is that if you don't have a lot of time to cook your breakfast in the morning, which generally everyone gives a response to and ultimately skips their breakfast,
Right.
we tell you to just mix this powder in milk or water and drink it on the go. Essentially, it just has these, fats coming from the nuts, carbs coming from the oats, and the natural protein coming from the sattu. So, these are the kind of interesting stuff that we've tried to do. One of the other products is Kashmiri Kawa, which you anyway tasted. The idea is that it's just not for Kashmiris, by the way. And it's extremely health. It has a lot of health value that way. It's a fat burner. It's a fat burner. Then it has natural antioxidants. If you have inflammation in the body, it just helps with that also. Like I am a chai lover personally, and I have replaced a cup or two of mine with Kashmiri Kawa. And when I say Kashmiri Kawa, I mean a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
That you can actually make a pink tea, which is a milk tea based out of Kashmiri Kawa. Preferably to be taken in winters, but I mean, you can use it whenever and wherever possible. And it has saffron, cardamom, badan khatai. So these are all Kashmiri spices that we sort of put in the Kashmiri Kawa so that, it just blends well with your
Yeah.
taste and palates.
And
So
as
that's,
soon as I opened the product, it had a fragrance coming out of it, and it was really good. Like I'm not saying it just for the heck of it. It was really really good, and it really tastes well also. So the ingredients you have put in it, I think a lot of thinking has went behind it.
yeah. So we've tried putting everything fresh. Like there's no fragrance, artificial fragrance that we've used in it. There is no flavor that we've added to it. It's just raw Kashmiri spices blended well and thought through well. And we've done like 100 iterations before we sort of take this, launch this out. So yeah, I think that's a lot of work there than anything
Yeah,
else.
I think nobody can think of that. There is a product right in front of you, and there have been 100 iteration to launch that product to just make sure that it tastes right and it's healthier and it's actually proving what it is meant to do. Kudos on that work. So any other products, like you mentioned 6 products, I think.
Yes, yes. So there is whole leaf green tea. So I come from a fundamental, where I feel that green tea is primarily used for its antioxidants. And if it in the process the antioxidants are lost, then there's no point of having something like that. So we try to do the blending, in small batches, so that because of the overheating or overexposure to heat, the antioxidants are not lost. Also, the problem with tea bags is that it becomes carcinogenic once it comes in contact with warm water. So that's very harmful for your health. Yeah, I mean, what we say is that you do whole leaf green tea, because if you're really looking for antioxidants, that's where you will probably find them. So yeah, that's one of the products. The other product that we have is a heart tea. And it's definitely just not for the heart patients. Initially, I remember that there were so many people coming to us and saying that, is this just for heart patients? It's absolutely not for heart patients. It's for everyone, because it's going to regulate the oxygen flow to the body, and it's going to like help you deal with the daily stress that everyone is having these days. So yeah, 3 to 4 cups a week is definitely recommended. Apart from that, we have these interesting nuts and seeds, which we say are brain foods. And what different we've tried to do with these foods is that we don't need that from diets these days. But we've used masalas without any vegetable oils, without any oils for that matter, and made it in small batches, extremely fresh. So I think that's what we sort of try to do. So I've worked in an MNC, and I know those hunger pranks that come at 4 p.m. in the evening when you really want to go to a canteen and eat that pakora. So I think what we are trying to tell you is that if you have those hunger pranks, carry those little snacks with you and eat them. They are very tasty to eat. Personally, my favorite right now. So yeah, that's the kind of snacks we are doing. Apart from this, there's another very interesting combination that we've tried to do, which is like natural flavor fruit mixed with acacia crystals, which you can put in smoothies. You can probably put in water and drink on the go. Acacia crystals in Ayurveda is actually called Gunkatira. So you might not know, but your forefathers might be using it on a very daily basis. So Gunkatira or acacia crystals are very, very rich in fiber. Very good for your skin. It's a natural prebiotic. So if you're taking such kind of things on a daily basis, and very easy to use. I mean, you just mix that powder in water or in any smoothie, and you have it on the go. Completely works. So I think these are the kind of foods we are doing right now.
Oh, that's great. I think you have a perfect blend of all the products, which can be, perfect for an employee who works who doesn't have time in the morning, who gets hunger cramps in the afternoon. So I think great product in the market which you have launched, and I think our viewers should definitely try these things. So coming back to the pricing of the product, whenever there's organic or Ayurveda associated with a product, the pricing itself goes up. So how are you placing the product in terms of pricing in the market?
Yeah. So because I started off as a consumer of these health foods, one of the issues that I personally had was that anything which you rightly mentioned is termed organic or natural or vegan, the prices probably go up by 3 times. I remember buying these quinoa chips, 50 grams for 150 bucks. That's like 3,000 per kg. That's like a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So the idea was to, play in a segment where it is accessible to everyone. In fact, the brand's idea was the first idea was to be accessible to everyone, because we don't want to do things which are only for the premium segment. So yeah, I mean, we've tried to keep our products at par with the competition, with obviously the right kind of ingredients, because balancing that cost equation where you're procuring the natural stuff and still being able to manage the prices where you can serve everyone becomes a task. But I think, and there's still a lot of work I feel that we need to do there. But I think we sort of managed it so much so far that our instant sattu cereal that I was talking about is like 10 servings in one pack, which is like 36 rupees for one breakfast. So it's not much that way.
Yeah, definitely. And I think so. Where can I buy Namya Foods? Like, how can I buy Namya Foods? Definitely we have talked about it a lot now, and we know how it is priced. So, is it available just on the sites, or is it available at the retail stores also?
So in Jammu and Kashmir, yes, it's available on retail also at some places. But we are right now, for everyone else, we are right now available on Amazon and Flipkart. Having said that, we are in the process of launching our own website e-commerce, and then we will be available on other platforms also. But right now, if I have to talk about, yes, Amazon and Flipkart.
Okay. And you talked about a lot of things which I didn't know about. So many ingredients which I have heard the name of first time around Ayurveda, and I think a lot of these things needs to be understood by the customer itself. So I think you are also as a practicing nutritionist, you also write blogs around it. So
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so I think because I was very confused at one point of time that, what is good for me, what is not good for me. And, there were so many options in the market. And, sometimes you don't understand that what exactly should you be eating. And that's how I sort of created a lot of interest in food and nutrition. And at one point of time, I mean, coming from a BTech and an MBA background, I could not start from scratch. But yes, I did some formal training into nutrition, and now I am a practicing nutritionist that way. But I am very, very active on Namya Foods Instagram handle. I feel that, and I handle that personally. It's just not about the products that we are doing, the products we are selling. It's a lot about what you should eat, what you should not eat, and those simple and small tips that you could just incorporate in your everyday life.
Right.
For that matter, I think the fundamental reason for why we started this business was actually telling people the right foods to eat than anything else. And in that game, if you want to buy our products, might as well, but the core proposition stays the same. Um, Apart from that, yes, I write blogs. I put it out on my social media and on my website. In fact, going forward, I'll be very active in terms of the frequency of the blogs on my website. So I think you can probably go to namyafoods.com and probably check the blogs there.
Yeah, definitely. And coming back to the, what are your customers speaking about, Namya Foods and the product it has launched in the market?
Um, so I think while obviously we consciously did a pilot in Jammu and Kashmir only to understand the validation of our products. There have been some amazing comments from people. Like I remember this person who's a Kashmiri and who's been using Kashmiri Kawa for quite some time. And I personally know the brand that he's using is an 80-year-old brand for that matter. When he came back to us and said that, he really liked our Kashmiri Kawa, I think that becomes a compliment because someone coming from that space and then, really, really talking about you becomes very special. Apart from that, there was this lady who, had some issue with the heart, and she was taking, blood thinning medicines thrice a day. I think after using for heart tea for 2.5, 3 weeks, she reduced her dosage from 3 to 1 per day. So I
Okay.
think when that happens to people, I think some of our objectives sort of gets resolved, and it really makes us happy.
Yeah, it really makes sense of what all you are doing at the end of the day if you receive that kind of feedback coming from the customers. So, what are your plans for 2020 and what are your goals for till 2025? Where do you want to be? I hope you will be expanding soon.
Yes.
But I would love to have Namya Foods available in Bangalore and retail stores. So, what are your plans for 2020 and how, your goals for 2025?
Honestly, I think we are still very new. Definitely, we have plans for expansion. And but right now, the focus is staying online and
Yeah.
covering all the platforms as far as the distribution is concerned. I think, but our main focus right now stays the product. Getting the product right now is very, very critical for us. I think if we can create a moment of delight for the customer and still be able to create at least, like, let's say, a 10,000 group of people using Namya Foods as a part of their daily life by, let's say, 2021, I think half our job will be done that way.
Yeah.
But
True.
yeah, having said that, we will be available online across platforms and across channels, only online, and that's what we want to do right now.
And at the end of the day, Amazon and Flipkart is available everywhere, so it has the biggest reach. Um, uh,
Yes.
so I think we have come down to the end of the episode. Anything specific, you want to share with our viewers?
Um, I think we are very new, and we would love if you guys go to Amazon and Flipkart and buy us, try us, give us a lot of feedback there. Um, Negative and positive, both is fine as long as we can, go back and sort of incorporate in our products. I think it'll be great. So please do that. Follow us on Namya Foods. Follow Namya Foods on Instagram for anything and everything related to health. Apart from that, I would take the advantage of this platform to let people understand and sort of tell that I mean, we are new and we are very open for new partnerships, new alliances, as long as your baseline also stands on the front that you're also equally passionate about food and health for that matter. So yeah, and I think I really want to tell something, which is that please go back and start looking at and reading the ingredients, at the backside of the packet, and see the kind of sugars and the vegetable oils that are put in the packets. And you know, I think those are the kind of things that we really want to get into and let people tell. So I think that's what I want to tell at the end of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ridhima, for sharing all that with us. A lot of information has reached to me, and I think my viewers would be hugely benefited from all these things. We wish you all the best for Namya Foods for 2020
Thank
and
you so much.
and
Thank you
we would
so much.
love to have you back. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was great talking
My
to you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.